Hi, I'm Danny, and I congratulate you. You've taken the first step to protecting your home and loved ones. This DVD will not only guide you along the simple process of setting up your LifeShield home security system, but will also show you some quick tips and facts about some of the features you may not know your LifeShield system can do. If you're an absolute handyman pro, check out page 2 in the quick setup guide for the setup diagram and written instructions. Otherwise, before I get into actually setting up my new LifeShield security system, let's quickly go through what's in the box. As I go through each component, my husband or I will put that piece and all its accessories exactly where we're going to use them in the house. That way, when we start setting up the system, it'll be even easier. Everything will be exactly where it needs to be, no running around to find what pieces you need. Remember, this is just as an overview. We'll get into specific uses and details about each component as we actually set it up. Okay then, the first thing that I have here is the console. With that, you should grab a battery pack and a power cord supply. Also, the console has a countertop base so that I don't have to attach it to the wall at all if I don't want to. We're going to put this one on our kitchen counter, but you can put it on a table by the front door or anywhere else convenient for entering and exiting your house. Next, here are the sensors, brackets, and the sensor magnets. There are also spacers that you may need to use to attach the sensors or magnets to your doors or windows. So I'm going to place a sensor, bracket, and magnet and any spacers I need at each door and window that we'll be securing. Nothing is more convenient than the keychain remote. At the push of a button, I can arm and disarm my LifeShield home security system from outside the door. It's awesome. No need to enter codes into the keypad or wondering if I'll make it out the door before the exit delay. I'll set this up when everything else is done, so I'm just going to leave this right here for now. Finally, this is the base. To set this up, I'll need a power supply, the Ethernet cable, which is the white one, and the battery. All of these should be put where an internet modem and router are located, which for us is here in the den. So I'll leave all these components here for now. Okay, now that everything is where it needs to be, let's get started setting up LifeShield. Okay, I'm going to get started by connecting the base unit of my new LifeShield home security system. As I mentioned earlier, the base should be placed in the room where I have our internet modem and router. For us, that's the den. First thing I have to do is put the battery into the base. Just make sure that the polarity is correct, positive to positive and negative to negative. Then slide the stand onto the bottom of the base. Now that the battery's in place, plug the power adapter fully into the jack on the back of the base and into the wall. Finally, connect the Ethernet cable from the back of the base to any available port on your router. Now I want to mention, as a second layer of protection, we could also connect this base to a phone line. That's why the thin gray phone cord was also provided in the box. This isn't necessary for the LifeShield security system to work, but it can be used as a backup. If you aren't going to back up your system with a phone line, you'll need to change your settings when you activate the system. Now we're done. Easy, right? Move on to step 2. You're that much closer to protecting your family and your home.
The console controls the security and telephone functions of our LifeShield system. This is where we can arm and disarm our system when we enter and leave the house.
As we pointed out, we can install this console as a tabletop unit, which is what we're going to do here. We should be sure to place this tabletop unit where it's accessible to arm or disarm when entering or exiting. Connect the battery into the side of the console. Red to the left, black to the right.
Got it. Okay.
Now connect the power cord to the back of the console and weave the power cord through the channel.
Okay. Weave it through the channel.
For tabletop placement, snap the stand into the back of the console and plug the power cord into an outlet.
There you go.
We're done installing the console. That really was fast.
Yep.
First, we'll be attaching the sensors to an exterior door, our front door. Before we attach the sensor or magnet to the door frame, we should see if we need any spacers on the sensor or magnet. Adding spacers is necessary in many instances. Take a sensor and a magnet and hold them up to the places we'll be installing them. We're putting these on our front door.
When possible, it's best to install the bracket and sensor to the stationary frame of the door or window, and put the magnet portion on the moving door or window itself. Also, once installed, the sensor and magnet need to be no more than 3/4 inch from one another. So this is okay, while this is not.
Right. And since this door is flush with the frame, we don't need any spacers on these pieces. We already attached the double-sided tape to the magnet and the bracket, so just stick the magnet to the door and bracket to the door frame, 3/4 inch apart. Don't clip the sensor into the bracket yet. We'll do that after we install all of the magnets and brackets. It's easier to go back to clip and program all the sensors at one time.
Great idea. Let's move into a window that isn't flush with the frame.
Remember, if you have tilt-in windows, take the tilt into consideration before you install the sensor. On these windows, as you can see when we hold up the sensor and magnet here, they're well over 3/4 inch apart. The position of the frame to the window in this room not only requires 2 magnet spacers, but we'll need to position the bracket and sensor at an angle on the frame in order to have the magnet no further than 3/4 inch from the sensor. So we'll just slide the spacers onto the magnet. See, that's easy. Then use the double-sided tape to adhere it to the window. Then stick the sensor bracket to the window frame at an angle. And we're done until we program the sensor. Now we'll go install sensors on the rest of the doors and windows that we want monitored. Now I need to program the sensors. Since my console is right here, I'll just grab the actual sensor and program it here. But you can always unplug your console and bring it wherever you are. If you remember, we only set up the bracket and magnet earlier. I'm now going to show you how to program the sensor we put on our basement door. We put a sensor here for safety so that we know when our kids go in and out of the basement. So I take the sensor, squeeze the metal spring clip, the battery will pop up on one side. Gently pull the remove tab, gently push the battery back into the clip. Now we're ready to program the sensor. Holding it next to the console, press Menu. Then scroll to Security Setup. Enter the default master code 1234. Then scroll to Sensors and press Select. On Add New, press Select. Scroll to the desired sensor type and press Select and wait 5 seconds. And now clip the sensor into the mounted bracket. The display indicates you have 30 seconds to do this. The console display will indicate the sensor is found and then added, and then we press OK. I can edit the sensor name by pressing Delete and typing a new name using the keypad. I'm calling this one Basement Door. Press OK. Press Select. Then I press Select. When the console prompts me to make a decision, choose on Sensor Only and press Select. Now let me test the sensor by opening the door. Okay, I heard the chime, so we know that I set it up correctly. If you didn't hear a chime, look in the user manual. Okay, now I'll just set up and repeat this process for each sensor. In order to add the keychain remote, we'll need the console. Holding both the console and the keychain remote, press Menu. Scroll to Security Setup press Select. Enter master code 1234. Scroll to Keychains, press Select. On Add New, press Select. Wait 5 seconds. Press all buttons on Keychain Remote at the same time. Console display will indicate that the Keychain Remote is found and then added. At some point. Press OK. On Master User, press Select. Depending on whether or not you want the panic button on your Keychain Remote to operate, scroll to Enable or Not Enable, press Select. Okay, I've finished programming all of the sensors. Now I'll activate the system. Remember, the system isn't monitored until you activate. So I just have to log online to www.lifeshield.com. Enter our username and password, which I got in an email right after I bought the LifeShield home security system. Now I just click on Get Activation Code, which is a 6-digit number. Great, so now I'll go and enter that into the console. Start by pressing Menu, and then on Activate, press Select. Enter the activation code I just got online and press Send. When the console accepts activation, press OK. Enter our 4-digit code that you want to use to control the system. I'm using 5678. OK, now re-enter the master code to confirm. Good. The system is now testing communication to the Central Monitoring Center. Great, it's done. Now I just press OK. So I'm hooked up and good to go anywhere, and our home and loved ones are safe with LifeShield. Remember, the first 7 days after activation are practice mode. The system is not set up to alert the police or fire department so that you and your family can learn to use the system without any false alarms. This helps both you and LifeShield to guarantee that the system has been set up properly and is working correctly.